Welcome back to this Yankee Chronicle special. I'm John O'Connor. Dean, I want to continue our conversation and really talk about sort of the strategic issues that you sort of see facing Colby-Sawyer. You know, I know your strategic plan has like 9 major points, and I don't want to get into each one of those. That's going to take too much time. But of those, right, what most excites you coming to the campus?
Yeah, so I think, John, we're actually in the process right now of developing our next strategic plan for the college. Something, you know, we're engaging our students, our alumni, our board members, and our community partners in. So getting lots of information to put into that. So while I don't have anything to talk about with that today, there are a number of key elements that are already emerging. One of those would be certainly our partnership opportunities with our employer and our community partners. Several years ago, Colby-Sawyer made the strategic decision to increase its focus, for example, on healthcare and on graduate and professional programs, in addition to the outstanding undergraduate programs that we've always offered. That move was really important. You know, it provides an upskilling not only for traditional students but adults that might need to come back to college and take that next step in their careers. So that was a really bold and innovative and new step for the college. That certainly is one that we're continuing to develop. It's important in diversifying our model as a college to be successful in the future. It also is really where the direction that education is going, right? So we're facing an enrollment decline of traditional high school students, and yet there are all kinds of students out there in the millions that would benefit from the type of education that we provide. And so for us, a real key component of that strategy is you know, taking a growth mindset on that, rather than looking at a declining traditional population, looking at what the market truly represents, which again is traditional high school graduates, students that are already in high school as another example that would benefit from college or an introduction to college, and then of course the working adults. And so while that looks a little different than what we've traditionally done, it's been enormously successful. We've seen tremendous growth already from that strategy. So that will certainly be part of what we continue. Will
health, your excellence in health and health related, be the tip of that strategy? Or will it be in the business social sciences? How will it sort of, and maybe this is ahead of the curve.
No, great, I'm laughing because it's a great question. I mean, yeah. It's all of the above, John. Okay. It really is. We have certainly made an intentional pivot to healthcare in the last few years. Of course, we have a very deep partnership with Dartmouth Health, including with our local New London Hospital. That's been an outstanding opportunity for students, for the college, for the community. It's been a win all the way around. We're currently working with Dartmouth Health on the next iteration of that agreement. Thinking big and planning big, that's all I can say right now about that. But,
so that's a teaser for something we can come back?
There is much to come with that. So that's certainly a key element. But also looking, for example, we've seen a lot of growth in our business program. That's a much needed skill set in the community, both in online and we have a 4+1 program where our graduates and undergraduates can continue and do an accelerated MBA. That's been very successful. And then as you mentioned, the social sciences, humanities and arts, there are key opportunities in each of those areas. The type of training and education needed may look different in each area. We're even looking at the role of the college in, you know, as a continuing education provider. We provide a lot of ongoing lifelong learning education for citizens in the community, but we can also work with our employers you know, to use the skills and experiences of our faculty to help develop their employees as well. So thinking very broadly as well as deeply about the role we might play in the future.
But at the core, Colby-Sawyer will still be a residential, small liberal arts in its sort of, you know, at the core, is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. So you're right, I think it's important to emphasize that. We tend to talk about the things that are new or different. The core is very much a residential, you know, world-class education. You know, we've got fantastic facilities to do that. We have, I think, a real geographical advantage in our location. We're located in a place where people often choose to retire or take a vacation. It's a beautiful part of the world to live in. It's a very close-knit community, both on campus and in the region. It's just a great place to raise a family after you graduate. I've run into alumni that have graduated over the last few years and have traveled the world, and they may not be from this area, but they've chosen to settle here as well, which is also an exciting part of how we can be part of the community.
Well, that's great, and that sets me up for the next segment. When we return, we actually are going to talk about Colby-Sawyer and the community. So please stay with us.